Hello YouTube, I'm back again and we have so many, and when I say so many, I mean so many jalapeno peppers. I'm going to stuff a dozen of them with cream cheese, wrap them and put them in the freezer. I didn't bring you along for de-seeding them because that's just boring. We all know that. So now you can watch me stuff some cream cheese in here. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in each one, or approximately 2 teaspoons. My cream cheese has not been out long and it's kind of hard. Well, maybe 3 teaspoons full. I want to thank my Facebook friend and YouTube friend, Joni Jacobs Friel, for the idea. She is the Singing Beaverine on Facebook, should you want to go over there and follow her. Not Facebook, YouTube. I know a lot of people I know people online. And I want to thank is her name Southern Frugal Mama? I'm going to have to check. Yes, her name is Southern Frugal Mama, for giving me the idea to do more cooking videos, which I did some canning ones when I first started the channel, which I will be going back to canning. But what I figured that I would do, I have some very old cookbooks. Old to me is not necessarily old to you, and I'm not talking about Betty Crocker. I'm talking about 1940s housewives, American Housewife cookbook, the green one. I have that one. I've got several that are older than that. And if I can get the ingredients, I might start cooking some more of the unusual things, just to see if I can do it. And if it's indeed edible. I do not know. I've cooked the more common things out of it, but I've never cooked anything like possum. I know I'm Southern, I'm not that Southern. I know I'm poor, I'm not that poor. So therefore, we won't be cooking possum. When I finish stuffing all the peppers, I'm wrapping them in bacon. We get our bacon from a small store near here. It's very thick bacon. It's very good bacon. There's not a lot of fat, which I really kind of would prefer there was more because I follow the keto diet. But you get what you get. When I get these done, I'm going to go clean out a place in my freezer to put this and flash freeze it, so that when I take it out, I can put it in a different container and just let it stay there until I'm ready to cook it. And I'm done. See you in a few. I've moved some things around in my freezer and placed a piece of parchment paper on top of the pan, and in about an hour they should be ready, or I'll check them and then take them out and separate them into smaller containers. While my stuffed jalapenos are freezing, I'm going to go ahead and cut up a big batch of jalapenos, and I also have shishitos enchilada peppers, and a couple of these guys, which they're not going to be pickled. There's another jalapeno. And I'm going to can them. I use a Presto digital camera, canner, the Presto Precise. Now, I'm a techie. I'm entirely comfortable using technology to do this. But apparently the alphabet agencies and most old-time canners are not. But I am, so I do. Let me wash my hands here. And I'm going to cut up my peppers and put them in those jars. I may have to stop in the middle and get more jars. You see me cutting these up with a knife. I have a slicer, but I find that using a knife is almost soothing for me. And using a slicer, I'm afraid I'm going to cut my hands, even though I never have. It's just one of those things. So, that's just it. And I will make these. I am going to can them. I have a time of 10 minutes. That is in my book, and I have asked ladies on the Rebel Canners pages, and that is the time that I have. It is not the 3-hour water bathing. It is not the 90-minute water bathing or 90-minute pressure canner. These are not that. So that is what we have. Be back in a minute. I'm finished slicing my peppers now. You'll see I put a couple of enchilada peppers in with the jalapeno peppers because they're both hot. So I'm good with that. Now I've got to put water in it and put the lids on. I am going to get a wet towel and wipe the rims of these jars. There we go. And I've got to get out, because I cannot find my debubbler, I use a chopstick. Works just fine for the same thing. Ooh, there we go. Now I need to put some more water in these. This is a recipe that does call for water. No vinegar or anything like that in it. So I just put straight hot water in it. I have put the lids on, and now I'm going to put the rings on. One thing I did notice is that some of these lids, they're odd. And if the lid is silver, you have to put a silver ring on. If it's gold or copper or whatever color you want to call it, you have to put a copper ring on. Now they're going in my canner, and I will, because I have more to do, and I'm just going to put these in straight jars. I'm not going to cut them up. I'll be back in a minute to show you how I set my canner up. I have my jars stuffed with the shishito peppers. There ended up being 2 half pints and a pint. Now I'm going to put my water in. I believe it's to 1/2 inch. And it's peppers, so it'll be okay. Ooh, I need a little more water. And then we wipe. And we put our lids on. Oh, there they are. I was gonna say, I know I had them. You'll notice my lids that I'm using are older ones with the really thick rubber on them. I was going to start canning many years ago, and it just didn't happen at that point in time. So I still have a lot of stuff left over from then, which is why I have all sizes of jars and all kinds of lids, both new and old. And I even have some of the reusables. So I use what I grab. My lids stay in one of these kind of containers, similar to Pringles, but I think it's Dollar General brand. And when I need them, or when I finish with them, I wash them and put them back in there, because it's entirely possible I can use them again. It's going to depend on what it takes to get them open. And I'm putting these other jars in my canner and putting the lid on my canner. But other than that, my lids stay either in their original box or in here. Now, I'm going to plug my canner in and show you the directions. All right. This came with my canner. It's a cheat sheet. There is a big one that's plastic coated, some laminated around here somewhere. I can't find it right this minute, so I made another copy of this and I just hang it on my refrigerator. My canner is on. It is flashing pressure can. There we go. These are 10 minutes, so I'm going to go right by that. My jars are already in there, so I'm going to go by that. They were room temperature, so they need to heat in the canner. And when it gets to fill jars, I will fast forward through that. I have learned how to work with my canner. See you in a few. My canner just beeped and went to the fill jars, so I was able to fast forward past that. And I'm now on step 4, which is venting. And it does this all on its own. I don't have to look at it. And in about 10 minutes, it will, vent and tin will light up and the timer will begin to count down. Yes, I have vision issues. When venting time expires, unit will start beeping. Put regulator on will light up. So next beep, I have to put the regulator on. I've got it sitting next to the canner. We're down to 1 minute on the countdown clock. See? 1 minute. and then we'll come back, or we're going to stand here and wait for it to beep, and then I will put this lovely little thing on there and make sure it's turned to vent, or can, not vent, can. Sorry, I saw something in the background that I couldn't remember what it was or why it was there, but now I know. Later on, I will probably, not today, I'm entirely too tired today. At some point next week, I will be canning green beans, and I will also take you along on that trip. All right, we're going to put this on here. And it says can and vent and can and vent, just like on an Instant Pot. And so I made sure it was set on can. And then push the button, and this goes to, oh. This goes to 10, which I had set before. And now this is going to come up. Ooh. To quit losing water, because it does have to have its water in it while it can. And then when it beeps again, I'll come in here and take the jars out. The canner has finished counting down, and you see the little cool sign there. That means that it goes through an hour of cooling off. Oh, it's still rather warm. And then it will turn itself off, and I will be able to take the jars out. Now, I always leave my jars, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes after it finishes. That way I can be sure that there's nothing else siphoning or anything like that. Be back shortly. And my canner is done, and I'm going to unplug it because there is no actual off button. And I will turn this so I can open it, and now in a couple of minutes I will open this up and we will take the jars out. These are my stuffed jalapeno peppers wrapped in bacon that I put together earlier today in another video. Now I'm going to put them in this set of, it's a new container for me. And I just got them yesterday. I bought them off of it's a new container to me. I bought them off of Amazon on Prime Day. They seem very well put together. And they're made with the special glass that's supposed, not like the currently breakable glass that there seems to be an issue with. No, that's not going to be able to go like that. It's not tall enough. Container number 2. We're going to do this one is container number 3. And there we are. because I had paper on here, I now don't have to wash this pan. I'm going to put that right there. However, I am making supper, so I do have to put some vegetables on to go with my hamburgers. And I think I'm going to do it in the microwave. Okay, now it's been 5-7 minutes or so, and I'm going to take these out and show you how I do this. First, I grab a towel, and I have my lifter, jar lifter. I pick them up, hold the bottom with the jar lifters, put them over there on a towel. That was a small jar. This is a slightly larger jar. You can do it with all size jars. You just have to be careful once they get larger quart jars, because they are heavy and they might slide out of these grips. But when I pick them up and put the towel under them, I make sure the bottom's dry at the same time. And I have 3 more little jars to pull out. All right, and that is it for today. Please keep in mind, this is a Rebel canning recipe with a Rebel canner who uses an electric canner, so there is no reason to fuss or cuss or anything like that. Don't call the canning police. I do a lot of things that a lot of people don't do, and I have done them many times. Like right now, I'm making supper while I'm talking to you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thanks for joining me. Bye.